My guest, who sat on Johnny Carson's couch for 30 years, hosted Star Search, TV's bloopers and practical jokes, and kept telling you that you might be that next big multi-million-dollar winner. Of course, I'm talking about Ed McMahon. Thanks a lot for taking the time to talk to us this morning.
Sure.
Television is filled with talent who came up through what I'll call the Ed McMahon farm system. Some of my favorite comedians, Kevin James, now on King of Queens, Drew Carey, Ray Romano, Rosie O'Donnell, all became famous on Star Search. Who am I forgetting?
Well, you're leaving out Norm Macdonald, and you're leaving out, who else? You mentioned Brad Garrett. Brad Garrett plays the brother on Ray Romano. He was my first-year champion. I mentioned Kevin James. He was my last-year champion. But there was Sinbad and Dennis Miller and Martin Lawrence. Jenny Jones in the morning, she was a comedian, and that's how she got her start. So there's a lot of people. I can't even remember them all.
And, of course, you're getting a cut from all of their paychecks, right?
Every week I get 10%.
Exactly.
Yeah, wouldn't that be nice?
Star Search was a great show for the entire family to watch together, wasn't it?
That was what I liked about it, and a little girl could say to her father, no, the boy's going to win. He's going to win. And the father said, no, he'll never win. And then she'd be right. What a great thing that was. The little girl would pick the winner. But now what can happen is all the audience can get involved because they log on and vote. If you went to your computer right now and logged in nextbigstar.com, you'd see all my web pages. And if you were talented, it'd tell you how to download an application to get into the process. But also you'll see the semifinalists. They're up there right now, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and you can vote on them. So it'd be great. You'd have bragging rights. Imagine if you voted for Britney Spears when she was 7 years old on Star Search. What a bragging rights system you'd have right now.
Now, the last time we spoke was about a year and a half ago, and you were trying to get a new talent search show back on the air.
Yes.
Next Big Star is that. It didn't come easy. You wanted to get Star Search back originally, didn't you?
Yeah, we couldn't get the name. They wanted too much, the royalty for the name. The name was very good. It was a great name. And the people that own it, Paramount owns it right now. They're not going to do anything with it, but they won't release the name. So I said, well, I got to come up with something else. And the other gimmick that works is the fact that I'm using the Internet.
You grew up in central Massachusetts. You told me off the air that you spent quite a bit of time in southern Worcester County, traveling around with a circus in Worcester when you were 15 years old. Do you still have ties here in southern Worcester County?
Not much. I have no family. I've got a couple of cousins that still live in Lowell. I was very close to my aunt, but she died several years ago. I used to go up and spend every Thanksgiving with her. I would do this Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade in New York. I used to host that.
Right.
I hosted that for about 10 years. As soon as that was over, I'd get on a plane, and I'd fly up to Lowell and go to Boston, then drive to Lowell, and I would spend Thanksgiving with her. And one day she said to me, Edward, one of the few people allowed to call me Edward, she said, Edward, why do you come here for Thanksgiving like this? I said, Mary, this is my home. I consider Lowell my home. Graduated from Lowell High. I lived there when I went to Boston College. So I feel very close to Lowell, Massachusetts.
Now, finally, you dedicate a lot of time to various charities, and you've co-hosted the Jerry Lewis MDA Telethon for over 30 years. Tell us about working with Jerry Lewis.
Well, he's just a strange man in a sense that you never know what's going to happen. He's very unpredictable. But he and I have a great relationship, so we get along great, and he tells me, Ed, you do anything you want. Anything you want, you just come and do it. And that's a nice way to work with a guy. And when it comes up in September, it'll be my 34th year doing the telethon. And we've raised, this is interesting for your audience, we've raised in those years $1 billion, with a B, $1,700 million. We're coming up to $2 billion. That wouldn't have been raised if he didn't get involved with this, but thank God he did, and I'm glad I'm there to help him.
Ed McMahon's been my guest this hour. Look for his new show, Next Big Star. Thanks a lot for joining us on Oldies 98.9.
Good talking with you, Adam, and good luck.